Hi students, welcome all of you. Myself Vivekanand Sahu, a faculty of Bose Mechanical Engineering Department, and for the next 30 minutes you will be with me to study about a topic like fuel and ignition system. It is of module 7 of automobile engineering, 6th semester mechanical engineering subject. Ignition system is generally the system which is a part of electrical system, and it will help you to get a spark at the spark plug. We all know that in a petrol engine, spark is there, spark must be there. So to generate the spark in the spark plug, we need a whole electrical system. That electrical system is basically called as ignition system. So I'll definitely tell you a note that in diesel engine, this ignition system is not of that use as use of in petrol engine. In diesel engine, we all know that there is a compressor, there is a compressed air present over there, so that by using that pressure and temperature of the compressed air, we can ignite the fuel, the diesel. So in diesel engine, we do not require a predominant ignition system as in case of petrol engine. So this ignition system is very important for petrol engine. So what are the requirements of ignition system? So the ignition system must be giving a high voltage sparks. That means actually generally what will happen, generally will providing a 12-volt battery to the car, to your vehicle, but we required a minimum 30 to 40 kV, that is kilovolt, that is 30,000 or 40,000 volts in ignition system to generate an adequate amount of spark. That voltage, that heavy amount of voltage will be generated by the ignition system. So you need to understand the working, the functions of ignition system in the next slides. So these 6 are very important parameters of ignition system present over here. So the most important thing is to get a high voltage and to get a long life and economical as well, because you definitely need not to change the ignition system repeatedly. You have to carry the ignition system for at least 10 years. So the life is also very important. So these are the points. Now, what are the type of ignition system? You have generally 3 ignition systems. One is battery ignition system, which is also called as coil ignition system. Another is magneto ignition system, and the third one is electronic ignition system. As far as our business, our knowledge for this context, you will be only reading with battery ignition system and magneto ignition system. Electronic ignition system is not in your syllabus. So starting with battery ignition system. This battery ignition system was smallly called as BIS or CIS, coil ignition system. This is a very important, it is also a very commonly used ignition system nowadays in most of the vehicle. So what are the important parts as shown in the figure? This is the line diagram, you can say. This is also called as the 3D diagram or component diagram. So in that component diagram, we have the following important parameters. First of all, battery is there, definitely ignition switch, your ballastic resistor or ballast resistor, then ignition coil unit, then condenser, contact breaker, distributor, and spark plug. So you must be thinking why there are 4 spark plug, because guys, this is very important to know. We are here not reading about or not discussing about the ignition system of the bike. We are discussing about the ignition system of a car. And generally all the 4-wheelers, they are having 4-cylinder engine due to the balancing purpose. So 4-cylinder engine solve the balancing issue. So we have 4-cylinder. For that we have 4 spark plugs present over there. So this is the whole diagram. You need to remember this diagram. This is component diagram. This is also called as circuit diagram or line diagram. Now, starting with the battery, which is the first and foremost part of the ignition system, battery ignition system. We are using a 12-volt battery, averagely 12-volt battery in all of the 4-wheeler vehicles. So next, the ballast resistor. It is very important to know that, guys, we know there is a formula H is equal to I square RT. That means heat is directly proportional to the time and current as well. That means if the time is increasing, the flow of current, and the time is increasing, the heat will also increase. And that heat definitely will burn out your circuit. So we have to make some certain of safety arrangements so that that heat could not burn your circuit. And for that reason, we are using ballast resistor. This ballast resistor has a definitely unique kind of property, which ensures that whenever heat is increasing, the resistance also increasing. For that reason, the current flow will decrease. And the current flow will decrease, so that your heat will also decrease, and we are in a very safe side. So the next, the ignition coil, very important part. It has lot of complicated design and complicated things, starting from your exterior terminals. One is input, another is output. A soft iron core is there, a primary winding is there, and a secondary winding is there. Guys, make a note. Primary winding, we are having only 300 to 400 tons, but in case of secondary winding, we have a more than of, or you can say nearly equal to 21,000 tons, that is more than of 20,000 tons. So why this is providing, I'll definitely tell you in the next slides. So now next, the contact breaker. The contact breaker consists of a heel, a pivot arm, a spring, movable and fixed plates, the cam. So the whole purpose of contact breaker is to switch on and switch off the whole circuit. We'll know in the working phase, in the working slides, we'll know how this contact breaker will do all these things. Next important part is the condenser. The condenser is the main part which will carry the charges inside it, and it will deliver and discharge the charges whenever required for the ignition purpose. So the condenser is very important part. Next, the distributor. So inside the distributor there is a rotating, you can say rotating rotor, a rotating member is there, and around the rotor there are 4 electrodes are present. Those 4 electrodes are actually control the spark plugs, 4 spark plugs, and those 4 spark plugs are controlled to the, or connected to the 4 cylinders. So this rotor basically transfers the electric from the whole circuit to the spark plugs. So this is the medium between the your ignition circuit and the spark plug. So this is called as the distributor. It distribute the charge actually, that's why the name is distributor. Another important function of distributor is that it will distribute the charge according to the time. Like whenever we know that we have generally in 4-stroke engine we have 4 strokes. In 4-stroke, only in 1 stroke, or you can say only in for the fraction of time, we require the spark. We don't require the spark all the time. So to control that, a distributor is also used, which will provide you, which will give you the spark at the required time, and it will remain the spark for there at a particular time. So next, the spark plug. We all know that the spark plug is very important part. Like due to the spark plug, it is the main device. Due to the spark plug, the spark is generating, and the spark is transforming to the fuel air ratio, or you can say fuel air mixture. So now what will happen inside the spark plug? There is a central electrode and there is a grounded electrode. Between 2 electrodes there are a lot of, or you can say adequate amount of gap is there. We know that, guys, whenever the current is flowing between 2 electrodes having a bit amount of gap, definitely there would be a spark, tendency of generating of spark. So that spark is using, we are using that spark in the petrol engine as a spark. So spark plug is a very simple device which will use to create the spark between the flow of electron between the 2 terminals, or you can say 2 electrodes. One is central electrode, another is grounded electrode. So next, this is the animation of your battery ignition system. So this is the animation or working animation, you can say it. So clearly observe, guys, one battery is there. So there is a switch. That switch is actually the ignition switch, which is actually your key, or you can say the car key. This switch actually is the key. When you insert the key, you start the car, that means you are actually inserting the ignition switch. This switch is called as ignition switch. So your key of car is actually ignition switch. When you put the ignition switch on, or you just enter the ignition switch inside that particular space, the battery connects to the whole system. Unless and until you'll putting the switch on, the battery will not connect to the whole system. So after putting the switch on, the battery will connect to the whole system. Okay, so once the battery will connect to the whole system, obviously inside the battery there are lots of amounts of currents are there stored inside the battery. The purpose of battery is that we have to store the current inside the battery. So these currents are flowing through the ignition switch to the rest of the circuit. So we'll be knowing, right now we'll be knowing how this current is flowing from the battery up to the spark plug. So basically, if you observe very closely, you'll find that the battery actually flowing the current to the ignition coil. This part is ignition coil. We have already seen this. This part is ignition coil. We have already seen this ignition coil in the just before 2 or 3 slides. So this batteries flows the current from the battery to the ignition coil actually, and inside the ignition coil we know that our battery is 12 volt, but we required 30 volt, 30,000 volt, 30k volt or 40,000 volt. So how to convert that 12 volt into 30,000 volt? So inside the ignition coil, actually inside this device, will converting the 12 volt up to 30,000 volt. This is how the ignition or battery ignition system is working on. So now let's move. So this is the current coming from the battery, this yellow line. Now it's going inside the ignition coil, and inside the ignition coil there are primary windings are there. So inside the primary windings, the current is flowing like this, and at a particular time when it leaves the primary winding, When it leaves the primary winding, it will move to the this unit. This is the distributor unit. This is the this is your condenser unit, condenser and circuit breaker unit. You can say contact breaker unit. This is distributor unit. This is condenser unit. This is contact breaker unit. So you need to understand this 3 unit very carefully. This is battery. This is ignition coil. This is your condenser. This is your distributor, and this is your contact breaker. So now, when current is flowing inside this circuit, when current is flowing inside this circuit, definitely a magnetism is created. Obviously, we know that whenever current is flowing, definitely magnetism is created. So a magnetic field is created around that. Now, this current is moving to the condenser unit. In the condenser unit, 2 things happen. Whenever, closely observe this cam, this is called as heel. Whenever this cam touches the heel, the contact breaks, because this is a contact. You can say this is a contact. Whenever it will break. That means there will be no contact between the 2 surfaces. So we'll pause this condition and we'll understand what will happen if the contact breaks. Now again we touch this condition, again we'll pause this particular state and we'll know what will happen actually. So first of all, think in mind that it will not touch with each other. Due to the motion of the cam, it will open. Now whenever this opens, this current goes to the condenser unit, and we know that inside the condenser is nothing, it's a capacitor actually. You can say it's a capacitor. So inside the capacitor, the ability of the capacitor, ability of the condenser is to store the charges. So it will store the charge for a lot of amount, so that inside the condenser the voltage is increasing, because capacitor is storing the charge, it will not delivering. Once the charge is stored so much high that it can be possible to store any other amount of charge, what it will do, it will reverse flow the current from itself towards this circuit, towards this unit. So due to this reverse flow, already there is a magnetic field present over there beforely, because primary current is flowing. Now there is a reverse flow of secondary current. So due to the secondary current, the reverse flow of the secondary current will have another magnetic field, but in opposite direction. So due to this both magnetic field, we have a collapse of magnetic field, or you can say you have a collision of magnetic field. This collision of magnetic field creates a heavy EMF or heavy voltage inside the secondary winding. The secondary winding having almost 21,000 turns, more number of turns, so that more voltage will be generated, less leakage current will be generated. So we are always wanting that current should not be leak. So more number of turns is there. So for that reason, what will happen now, this secondary winding catches all the heavy EMF or heavy voltage, and it will pass the voltage to this distributor unit, where the rotor carries all these currents, and it will transfer the current to the different electrodes, and the electrodes now transfer the current to the spark plug, because there is a just normal connection, wire connection is there. So the electrode carries the current to the, these are the electrodes, I'll definitely show you, these are the electrodes. These electrodes carry the current up to the spark plug, and inside the spark plug, spark is generated. So this is the whole scenario how this things is working. But another thing, why this is provided, we have a condenser unit. Condenser is actually amplifying the charge. We are providing 12 volt, condenser converting it to the 30,000 volt. So why we require this contact breaker unit? Because guys, just closely think, if we don't have a contact breaker, continuously current will flowing and continuously charge will be delivered. But what we know, what we observe, in 4 stroke, for fraction of second only we require the charge, we require the spark. For fraction of second, we don't require the spark always, we don't require the spark all the time, we require only for a fraction of second. So this condenser unit will be activated for the fraction of second only, that fraction of second for which we require the charge. So for the rest of the time, the current need to be passed with or bypassed with some other means. So this contact breaker circuit is provided to bypass the current whenever it is not required. Like whenever this contact breaker touches with each other, now the contact breaker, these are open, now they are touches. So the current will not go to the condenser, it will go to the contact breaker unit, and inside the contact breaker it will connect it to the ground. So the current will goes to the ground, because we don't require the current all the times. We require the current for a very few seconds. So for that few seconds we require the work of condenser. So this is the whole scenario of your battery ignition system. Next, there is a magneto ignition system. Definitely guys, you know that whenever there is a talk of self start is coming, there is also a funda, you can say, like kickstart. That kickstart funda is for this magneto ignition system, MIS. So this is the diagram of magneto-ignition system. So look at the important parts. Starting from capacitor, this capacitor is also same as the condenser, only the name changes. Condenser is big in size, capacitor is little bit small in size. So this is capacitor, there is a cam, there is a magnet. You will observe this is magnet, this is a capacitor, this is your ignition switch. You turn on the switch, you turn off the switch. There is a, this is called contact breaker point. This is cam, the magnet, this is whole the core system. This is two types of coil is there. One coil is dash line, another coil is solid line. That solid line is primary winding, the dash line is secondary winding. And primary winding, we all know that it will have a very less number of turns, but secondary winding, we all know that it will have a more than 20,000 of turns. That means very heavy turns. Now, then it is connected to the distributor unit. The distributor unit and the spark plug unit will work as same as in case of battery ignition system. So we are not going to discuss all those things again and again. We are only discussing how the heavy current is flowing, through the circuit and going to this distributor unit. Because inside the distributor unit, we all know that inside the distributor unit there is a rotor, and in rotor there are 4 electrodes are provided. 4 electrodes are connected to the 4 spark plugs. So everything is okay with distributor unit. But now our aim is to understand how the current is flowing to the distributor unit. Now look at here, guys. We all know that whenever the magnet rotates in a particular speed, definitely current is generated. So there is a cam provided here. This cam is provided here. This cam is directly connected to your crankshaft, or you can say there is a link between the crankshaft. Whenever the bike is, or whenever your total automobile device, or whenever your vehicle is rotating, this cam will also rotate. So due to the rotation of cam, this magnet will also rotate, and we know that whenever magnet will rotate, the electricity will be definitely generated. So that electricity will goes to the primary winding and secondary winding as well. But this electricity is not enough. We all know that we cannot generate a 20,000 volt or 30,000 volt. We can generate 100 volts, we can generate a 50 volts, but we cannot generate a 20,000 volt at a particular time. So what we'll do, we'll use the same concept as in case of battery ignition system. We'll provide a contact breaker here. So whenever this cam is moving, look at the structure of cam. It is like this structure. That means whenever this cam is moving, maybe the cam is vertical or maybe the cam is horizontal. Whenever the cam is horizontal, the contact breaker is look like this. They are touch with each other. But whenever the cam is vertical, the contact breaker contacts open. So in these two scenario, the whole magnet ignition system or magneto ignition system is working. So first of all, take a note. Whenever this is touching, this contact breaker is touching, so the current will come and flow in this manner to the ground. So no use of that current. This will just flow to the ground. But whenever that cam breaks the contact in contact breaker, that is contact breaker opens, in that case another circuit will switch on. The current will come to this circuit is not open now. The current will go to the capacitor because capacitor is there. So in this manner, inside the capacitor, more and more currents are generated. So at a particular time, a time came at which inside the capacitor, the voltage is very high. It is so high that it can dominate the primary current which is generated due to magnet. And at that time, the current stored in the capacitor, it will flow from in this direction to the primary coil again. But inside the primary coil, we have a primary current. But now a secondary current is coming from the capacitor. So in that scenario, what will happen? Again, reversal of magnetic field will generated. One magnetic field will generate primarily. Now another magnetic field will generate due to the capacitor's current. So due to this collapse of both magnetic field, will have a heavy current, will have a heavy EMF, you can say, heavy voltage. That voltage was transferred to the secondary coil. This is the secondary coil, the dash line or the dotted line. That heavy voltage will transfer to the secondary coil and goes to the distributor unit. So in this manner, will distribute or will make the flow of current from the whole unit to the distributor. That means, guys, you have to understand 3 things. First thing, we have to make the current. Second, we have to store the current inside the capacitor. And third, we have to distribute, or we have to transfer the current from the capacitor to the distributor unit. So we are doing exactly the same. We are opening it and we are closing it. For that reason, sometimes current will flow like this. Another time the current will flow like this. That means in capacitor, current will just stored for a lot of time, and after that time the capacitor have a very high voltage, and in that particular case the capacitor discharge the current to the secondary winding unit. So this is your magneto-ignition system. Now what are the advantage and disadvantage of magneto-ignition system? So this system is very reliable. That means whenever you are moving with high speed or medium speed, this system is reliable. You can use this system, and definitely the system require less maintenance, because obviously a common sense can say this system has a very less number of components. Definitely the maintenance will be less. So in case of battery ignition system, lot of number of components are there, so maintenance will be definitely high. And the disadvantages, it has a starting problem, because guys, you know, whenever the magnet is rotating at a particular rotation, only it can generate a particular amount of current. So it needs some time to start. So it has a starting problem, and definitely it is more expensive, because something using with magnet is definitely is an expensive thing. And then possibilities of misfire is there, because yes, this thing is a classical thing, this is a traditional thing. So we were actually using it before 10 years. Now also we are using, but our main focus is in battery ignition system. Now next, there is a difference between BIS and MIS, battery ignition system and magneto ignition system. It is noted here. You can note this in a copy. Okay, the battery ignition system, starting with the first and very important part, it uses a battery. And magneto ignition system, you definitely know there is no battery, so one initial cost will be definitely reduced of battery. But in battery ignition system, no magnet is used. But in magneto ignition system, magnet is used. Definitely we require a magnet. Next, and the most important difference between them is the battery ignition system is not difficult to start, but magneto ignition system, definitely it is difficult to start. So the second point is very important. Starting problem is there in case of magneto ignition system. This point actually takes the scientists' minds towards the battery ignition system, and we are having a good bunch of battery ignition systems, and we are just working more on that battery ignition system. How could we improve the battery ignition system more? So this second point actually generates the battery ignition system. This is the main point, because it is difficult to start, but battery ignition system is very easy to start. So this is the main difference. Now second, definitely in battery ignition system we have a lot of components using. We are using ignition coil. Inside the ignition coil 4 components are there, so high maintenance is there in battery ignition system. So maintenance is high in battery ignition system, but maintenance is very low in case of magneto ignition system. The fourth point, the battery ignition system current for primary circuit is obtained by battery. Obviously the current will be generated by the battery, because battery is stored the current. But in case of magneto ignition system, we have to generate the current. We don't have a storing of current, we have to generate the current. But inside in case of BIS, battery ignition system, the current is already provided to you. Now the fifth point, the spark strength does not depend on the speed of the engine, because the spark is generating due to the battery, and battery is a equivalent unit. You touch the battery today or you touch the battery tomorrow, the current capacity will be almost same. But in case of magneto ignition system, we are generating the current due to the speed of the magnet. So more and more the speed of the magnet, more and more the current will be generated. And in reverse, if speed of the magnet will be less, the current will also be less. That means we are having a varying nature of currents and possibilities in case of magneto ignition system. So this is also one type of demerit. So we cannot use magneto ignition system in very heavy vehicles. We definitely need a battery ignition system. That's the main cause for which in car we are don't having a kick start thing. We are only having a self start thing, because definitely in car it is a big engine, it requires a lot of current. So we need to have a battery ignition system there. So next point, good spark is available. Definitely at low speed also good spark is available. Next, the seventh point, efficiency of system decreases with the reduction in spark intensity as engine speed rises. That means battery ignition system, if we increase the speed more high, but the amount of current is same, that means in case of battery ignition system, it is not more reliable to the high speed. But in case of magneto ignition system, if we increase the speed, magnet speed also increase. That means current will also increase. So in case of magneto ignition engine, high speed things can be possible. In case of battery ignition system, high speed things can be possible, but with a varying nature. So if you compare the efficiency of both, magneto ignition system obviously stand in a top as compared to the battery ignition system. Next, the last point, battery ignition system occupies more space, definitely, because the thing is we have a big size of battery over there, present over there. So definitely it will require a lot of amount of space. But in magneto ignition system, you are using a magnet, it's a small thing, so it requires a less space. For that reason, we are using it in bike. So guys, this is the session for your battery ignition system and magneto ignition system. I thank you for listening me, and I'll definitely positively record your feedback, and definitely will paste your doubts on my email ID. I'll provide you the email ID and my WhatsApp number as well, so you can paste your doubts on me.
झीटीए तो माटी आम सामाजिक और पारिवारिक जीवनर मूल कथाटी से माने आगकू गले आगकू जीव संसार आम झील मैंने आ पुओंकठू पछरे नाहंती एबे तो बदली गलानी समय बदली गलानी जुग से झील माननकू आहुरी आगकू नहीं आत्मनिर्भरशील और स्वावलंबी करने ओडिशा सरकार सुदक्षा योजना रे सरकारी आईटीआई माध्यम संपूर्ण मागणारे जोगई देउछंती सबु प्रकार उत्कृष्ट मानर वैषयिक ज्ञान कौशलर तालीम एबे आम झील रहिबे सबुठू आगरे सबुठू उपरे
मु सफल मु कुशली मु सुदक्षा